Hi guys, I'm back. Um, I'm just making this video to cover a question that one of my friends asked me to address. He asked me to address the issue of quality instruments within the church, professional equipment. Why is it that churches don't want to invest in quality equipment? Well, the first reason and the most obvious is that if churches are not equally funded, okay, some have a great deal of resources while others are barely getting by. So if a church is barely getting by, investing in proper instruments is not really at the top of the priority. Okay? Yeah. So it becomes a problem because now instruments do limit you in terms of what you can do. I wouldn't say limit you, but they make you uncomfortable. You know, if the quality of your tools is not what it should be, it doesn't mean you can't do the job, but it means that you can do the job with a great deal of discomfort. And this discomfort causes you not to give out your best and possibly not to enjoy yourself. By and by, depending on how tolerant you are, you might end up not even going to church anymore, depending on how much you can take or handle of the situation, you see. But you do get those instances where the funding is there, but people just don't see the importance, which is sad because when people want TVs, when a person wants to splurge out on a plasma, for instance, they know they have to go Sony, they have to go LG, etc. When a person really wants to splurge out on a phone, they know they'll go for Apple, Huawei, Samsung. That's what you go for. So people are aware that brand and quality are not the same because that's what they care about. And if they don't care about the instruments or the musical equipment, then they'll just buy anything and expect it to work. As a church board, as a pastor, you might want to consult with the person who's actually going to play the instrument before you go and play it. Before you go and buy it, excuse me. Before you go and buy it. Reason being that you're not the one who has to play it, okay? And you might buy something that is not appropriate or suitable for the purposes of the church service. Okay? So consult, take these guys with to the shop when you buy new instruments and let them advise you on what they think will work. Try see if budget can be made for that. And another blunder that is there with churches is that they buy equipment but do not want to invest in training. It's just the sound system after all. What happens next is that the sound system blows up, the amp dies or the speakers blow up. Guess who gets blamed? The same person who was never given the proper training in those things. Okay? So I always say to churches, look, if you're not going to pay people to do things, or if you don't believe in paying people to do things, at least take them to school to learn how to operate these things. If you're not paying a musician, at least pay for their music education, Saturday classes or whatever. If you don't want to hire a sound engineer for Sunday, then take one of these boys to sound engineering school. That they must learn to operate these things so that they don't do their own things tomorrow and burn the church system. Now, someone who doesn't have a training is going to get, shouted at and like, hey, this guy burned our system, but he never got the training, Mas. What I'm trying to say is that either way, money has to be spent. Yes, we have grace, but there's places where grace doesn't work. It really doesn't work. So there's places where we need to be practical and realistic. And in coming to such things, we have to be practical and realistic. Okay? We can't take chances. So consider this message and start to think of ways to do things better so that we don't repeat the mistakes and tragedies of yesteryear, that the things that we saw growing up. They don't need to be repeated. There has to be a change. There has to be improvement and working forward. Yeah. Okay. Cheers. God bless.